Have you ever taken a wrong turn in an unfamiliar city and ended up in a bad neighborhood? This is the story of when that happened to me. Several years ago, a band I played with were invited to open for the Amazing God module in El Paso. Now, this isn't my band that I use for the intro music on this channel, but a friend's band whom I would join for the occasional live gig. Links for both will be in the description. As we're preparing for the trip, I was talking to a coworker who had grown up in El Paso. He suggested if we have time, we should stop by his favorite food place, Chico's Tacos. Now, I love traveling and trying local cuisine when I do, so I said I'd try to get my bro to take us there. El Paso is a beautiful city that feels strangely like home and foreign at the same time. I've gigged there twice now, and both times were an absolute treasure. So the day of the gig arrives, and we drive the 4-something hours to get there, play the show, and just had a wonderful time. I got to meet the members of some of my favorite bands. We end the night and go back to the hotel and rest up for the drive home. In the morning, we're both hungry and didn't know where to go, being in an unfamiliar city and not wanting to get the usual fast food options. Aha, now's my time to strike. I tell my buddy about this place a friend had recommended. He agrees to try it, so we set out in search of food. I look up the address and set the destination in my navigation app on my phone, and away we go. I don't know if I was having network issues or if the Google was being glitchy that day, but soon I realized the navigation was a bit off. The app was showing us passing roads about a block after we had already passed it. Now this is bad because we were on the highway and there's not much of a second chance if you miss your exit. The app then tells us it's time to exit on the next off-ramp, which we do. And to our dismay, we realize yet again it had us take the wrong exit. We assumed we could pull over somewhere, get our bearings straight, and figure this tech situation out. But as we're going around this off-ramp, we soon realize there won't be much of an opportunity to park. We're heading directly into Fort Bliss, a military base, and there's no places to turn around. Before we know it, we're parked in front of a guard booth that leads further into the base. I am flooded with shock and horror. The guard asks for our IDs and asks what we're doing here. We explain we just took a wrong turn looking for Chico's Tacos. This stern-looking bloke just glares at us with an expression of, yeah, likely story. And then finally he goes, "Oh yeah, you just missed it. Turn around here and head back that way. It's one more exit, you'll be there in no time." He then proceeds to give us back our IDs and send us on our way. Holy shit, we breathe a sigh of relief, turn around in the entry area and follow his directions. We finally get to the right road, and as we're driving closer, I start to realize a trend amongst the businesses. Gun store, liquor store, pawn shop. In my head, I'm thinking, oh boy, this place is gonna be hella legit. The best food joints are always in the sketchiest neighborhoods. Finally, we arrive, walk in, and this place is packed. We wait in line, and then I get to the front to place my order. I don't remember exactly what I got, but it was some tacos with some other fixins. The lady hands me my receipt and tells me, "Your number is 52. Okay, cool. So I find us a seat and we wait. Suddenly I realize when they're calling out the numbers, they're doing so in Spanish. Anyone who watches this channel by now should know that I am Spanish deficient. I noticed they keep calling out 58, and no one is getting up to claim the food. So I take my receipt to the counter and ask if they've called my number yet. The lady hands me my food that had been sitting there for a while, and I take it back to our table. And I say, how are you going to tell me my number is 52 if you're going to call it as 58? Just tell me that's my number so that I know to listen for it. But anyway, the food was amazing, and I highly recommend it if you're ever in El Paso. Just be sure not to take any wrong turns like we did. And that wraps up our adventure for today. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'd like to reiterate my challenge. Once we get to 100 subs, I will do the belly button story. Until then, stay safe and don't do anything I would do.